All right, guys, let's just wait for some people to jump in here into the live before we get started. Well, big episode here. We're going to be going over Bitcoin, Tesla, NVIDIA, gold, silver, and whatever you guys want to put in the chat, I'll be glad to go over it. All right, guys, so let's get started. Right now, we're going to start off here with Bitcoin, which is currently at $63,600. This weekly candle closes in the next 2 hours and 45 minutes. And as you can see, we have a red candle currently. I'm afraid that if we close red like this could be tweezer tops and we could end up rolling over below the 200 moving average, which is currently at $62,244. Now, in order for us to be slightly bullish, I would like us to get back above this 21 moving average at 71,241. As you can see here, we have kind of like a gap in the VRVP. And if that's the case, we could probably fly up to this node at 77K. But if we get rejected off of this 21 moving average, it looks like we might be rolling over further down. Now, you can see here that the Stochastic RSI are rolling over. The RSI here is rolling over, so it's not looking good. Ultimately, I kind of have this in a head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We pretty much already are triggering the neckline, you could say, and this could bring us down to 30K, worst case scenario. Now, what is being triggered already is this bear flag. As you can see, this measure move takes us down to about 50,600, 700, and we already did half of the measured move. If we head over here to the daily chart, you can see that there's another bear flag that's playing out here, which we've already filled out, and it looks like we're starting to break down from this bear flag. This takes us down to about 49,700 as well. So it's not looking good here for Bitcoin at the moment. The stochastics here are toppy. We do have some bullish divergence on the stochastics RSI. So maybe we could roll up, make another hump up, similarly to like how we did here or here. But if we cannot get above this 21 moving average, then those dreams are dead, and it looks like we might be rolling over. Ultimately, we need to get back above this 200 moving average on the daily time frame. If we cannot do that, that's currently at 76,765. then we're still going to be in the bear market. And ultimately, if we do want to get back into the bull market, we have to get above this 50 moving average on the weekly. That's at 90,894. So we're pretty far away from that. Now, something that could happen if we could stay above this 200 moving average is maybe this could be some type of a double bottom, one bottom, and this is a slightly lower bottom here. And then maybe from there, that's what could break us out. But this is the weekly chart. This could take various weeks to fill out this next bottom here. So let's see what ends up happening with that. Now, in the 22-hour time frame, the stochastics are kind of pointing up here. But now that I'm looking at it, if we zoom in, this could roll over. If this rolls over, then it's a wrap for the daily. It looks like we're going to continue going down. This candle closes actually in 40 minutes. So if it closes red like this, it looks to me like we will be rolling over. This looks to me also like a head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This looks like, yeah, it will take us down possibly to at least test 60K again, or possibly lower. Head over to the 4-hour time frame. The stochastics are toppy. We're rolling over. The RSI here is rolling over on the 50. And this itself looks like a little head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We have a nice big red candle here. We're trying to hold above the 21 moving average. If we lose that, I think we are going to have more downside. On the 1-hour time frame, stochastics were low, but look, we rolled over. This RSI fell off the cliff. We're below the 21, the 50. We're below the 100. The only thing that's holding us up right now is this 80 moving average at 63,526. If we've missed that, we're probably going to go lower. It's kind of resembling like a rounded top, kind of like a head and shoulder, which is already playing out. On the 15-minute time frame, stochastics are starting to reset. This could possibly save us. Maybe we get a tweezer bottom here and we get back above this 200 moving average, above the 21 moving average. If we can't, and we get rejected off of this 200 moving average at 63,889, I would start expecting a dump here. This could definitely roll over here, similarly to how it happened here, and we could get a bigger dump here. So right now, I have to say that I'm ultimately still bearish on Bitcoin. To convince me, we would have to get back above this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. The last time that we were above the 200 moving average convincingly was all the way over here. That was back in May 26, almost a month ago. Ever since then, this has just been a rejection point, and we've lost all these moving averages. So we cannot get back above that 200 moving average. I'm afraid we're still bearish here for Bitcoin. Now let's head over to Tesla. And Tesla right now is at $400.49. Now on the monthly time frame, we are holding above the 21 moving average. So I'm liking that. That is still bullish for me. Now for the month of June, which closes in about 8 days and 23 hours, we do have a red candle. So that's slightly bearish. Now, what I'm liking here is that this could be a possible falling wedge. And if this is a falling wedge, we already started breaking out, and this could possibly take us up to the measured move of about $515. But in order for that to happen, we do have to stay above this 21 moving average. The stochastics are showing that maybe we could get a curvature up. I would like this RSI to turn up as well. We head over to the weekly chart. We see that the stochastics RSI are rolling over here. The RSI is rolling over. This is reminding me of a head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We're starting to lose the 21 and the 50 moving average. Now, similarly to Bitcoin, if we lose that 50 moving average, I think we would get into some type of a bear market here for Tesla. Now, we have all these moving averages as protection. We have the 80 moving average at $374. We have the 100 moving average at $351. If we lose this, then it looks like we could fall to this 200 moving average at $280 ultimately. So let's see what ends up happening. Let's see if we can stay above this 50 moving average. Right now, we're getting some wickage here, and it's showing some support. Now, if we head over to the daily chart on Tesla, the stochastics were on the way up, but now it kind of looks like we're rolling over. We did get rejected off of this 200 moving average and the 21 moving average. That's looking bearish to me. We can see that we're in a downtrend as well. We have a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, and this could be another lower high. So we would have to get it back above at least this high here at $445 to say that possibly we could make it back up. So let's see if this goes up or if we end up rolling over. On the 4-hour time frame, stochastics also rolling over. I'm liking that the RSI is trying to turn up, but we need to get back above this 50. The stochastics RSI, if we zoom in, I'm starting to see a little curvature yet, but it's not convincing me yet. I'd like to see a rounded bottom and show that we're going to be rounding back up here. And we're struggling here. We're losing this 200 moving average. You guys know if we lose the 200 moving average, I'm bearish. Ultimately, can we turn this into some type of a double bottom, possibly one bottom? Maybe this is the second bottom. And then all of a sudden, maybe this brings us back up. And like I said, maybe we hit that 150 mark. Let's see if that ends up happening for Tesla. But right now, the stochastics are in between. Take a look at the 1-hour time frame. And for the 1-hour time frame, we lost the 50 moving average. We're below all the moving averages. We're trying to get back above that 21 moving average. Let's see if that ends up working out. I would like to see us get back above this 200 moving average to stay bullish. So right now, if we cannot hold $400 support, I could see us going down to 280, 265, and possibly even 350. We could hold $400, and ultimately we could get back above with strength this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. We could possibly get back up to 450 at least. And ultimately, in the long run on this monthly, I do have this taking us to about $515 as long as we can stay above this 21 moving average. But again, this is the monthly chart. This could take a while before it plays out. Now let's take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA here on the monthly chart, you can see that the stochastics are pointing up. The RSI kind of looks like it wants to roll over. Maybe we make a hump here. This could be some type of an inverted head and shoulder, and maybe we blast up. Now, we are far away from the 21 moving average at $163.31. So I would have to think that we're probably going to continue going sideways here until the 21 moving average catches up to price. And maybe from there, we can make a bigger move up. Or we're possibly going to dump down here to the 21 moving average or meet it somewhere here in the middle. I'm not liking this wick from last month. This shows resistance here at $238. We couldn't get above. And now in June, we have even a lower wick here and a red candle. Now, this looks to me kind of like a flag here. So is it possible that maybe we already broke out and this could take us up higher? Never mind this other pattern that I have there. We'll go over that in the lower time frames. But we pay attention to this line that I just put here. we could stay above this 21 moving average. Maybe we could break out to about $283 is a possibility. Let's see what ends up happening with NVIDIA. Let's head over to the weekly time frame. See, on the weekly time frame, the stochastics are toppy, but I'm starting to see a little curvature like we want to go up. The RSI is kind of pointing up as well. And I do have this kind of like in a falling wedge. Measured move to this is taking us up there, pretty similar to the other measured move, possibly to about 271. We are close enough to the 21 moving average, so maybe we could continue coming down, tap that 21 moving average, and go up from there. Now, when will this not play out? I think it will not play out if we lose this 50 moving average at 186. Again, on a weekly time frame, we do not want to lose that 50 moving average. That brings a bear market onto that asset. Right now, we're holding the 21 moving average as support. We could be making a move to 271 if we could hold that. On the daily time frame, we are below the 21 moving average. We are below the 50 moving average here. Stochastics are in between. This could roll over. The RSI is pointing up, but we're still below 50. I would like us to get back above the 50. What I'm not liking is that this is kind of resembling to me some type of a head and shoulder pattern. You could say that this is a left shoulder. You could say that this is a head. And this could be a possible right shoulder here. Now, if this Stochastic RSI rolls over, we cannot get it above the 50 on the RSI. It's possible that this measure move could take us down. And maybe we could fall down to the 200 moving average, possibly even below. This is showing 169, 171 here. So let's see what ends up happening. We would like to hold these as support, the 80, the 100, we lose that. Then there's the 200, we lose that. Then this VRVP, point of control, at 182 looks good for a bounce. If not, we could possibly fall down even lower. Let's take this off so it doesn't look too cluttered in the meanwhile, but let's just keep that in mind that that head and shoulder pattern is looming there. We head over to the 4-hour time frame. Stochastics were on the way down, but it looks like we're rolling back up. We are above the 200 moving average, so that to me is still kind of bullish. And we are technically above the 21 moving average. But again, I would like to get back above this right shoulder and ultimately above this head. That's currently at $236. If we could get above this head, this negates that head and shoulder pattern. And then we can make it up towards that target of 271 I was talking to you guys about earlier. On the 1-hour time frame, stochastics are getting a little toppy here. And we're also below this 200 moving average at $215. I would like to get back above this in order to remain bullish here for NVIDIA as well. All right, guys, let's jump into gold. And gold, we haven't gone over in a while, so this will be interesting. Right off the bat, what I could tell you is when we made these highs all the way to about 5,600, you can see we had major resistance here with that wick. We had another green candle, got us a little bit higher, but we never got above this wick. And then we got a red candle. This gave us tweezer tops, and we've fallen down ever since then. You can see here, we were pretty far away from the 21 moving average. I always tell you guys, once we're far away from the 21 moving average, we either got to go sideways and wait for that 21 moving average to catch up to price, or we got to fall down towards that 21 moving average. It looks like we're falling down towards it. That's currently at 3,712. Gold is currently at 4,155. So it looks like we still have more room to come down. This RSI fell off of a cliff. This looks like it might want to come down and test this 50 here on the RSI. Now, if we could stay above this 21 moving average, is it possible that maybe this is some type of a falling wedge? And maybe, just maybe, we could get back to the all-time highs to about 5,695 or possibly even higher. Now, with this falling wedge, we could still technically lose the 21 moving average for a bit and then bounce up. So let's see if that ends up working out. On the weekly time frame here, stochastics are starting to reset, but this could drag here for a while. The RSI still hasn't turned up, and I'm not liking this, guys. We're losing the 50 moving average on the weekly time frame. If we lose this and we cannot get back above, I gotta say this could be a bear market for gold. And I'm seeing a head and shoulder pattern here too. Left shoulder, kind of like a head. It's not a textbook head and shoulder, but you can see how it could be a head and shoulder. And then ultimately, the measure move to this could possibly, it looks like it could bring us down to about this 200 moving average or below. So right now it's showing us if we could make it back down to about $2,500 or at least to like $2,800 where the 200 moving average currently is. Now, this falling wedge, maybe we continue to go sideways, but even if we do, look, this will take us to this point of control, which is basically at 3,317. So it looks like we could get down below $4,000 for gold at the moment. It's not looking too bullish, especially if we're below this 50 moving average. We need to get back above this immediately and also get back above this 21 moving average at $4,684. Take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart is rolling over here on the Stochastic RSI. It also looks to me like we're below the 200, the 21 moving average. This 21 moving average is crossing down on the 200 moving average. That's bearish. Now, something that could save us is maybe this is a possible double bottom here. And if that's the case, this could bring us back above this 50 moving average. And that could save the day. But if we cannot double bottom there, it looks like we will be going lower. I mean, we're pretty close to this double bottom. Can this Stochastic RSI reset and us not go below this bottom? If that's the case, then I think that could be the double bottom that brings us back up. But if we lose this right here at around $4,000, I would say, I see us getting back down to 3,800 minimum at least, if not even possibly lower. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. Again, below this 200 moving average, that's bearish to me. That's at 4,470. We need to get back above this. We cannot get back above this. I see us going lower. Stochastics are low. We could start pumping up, but we could also drag here for a while. So this is not convincing me at the moment. Let's head over to silver. And silver here, wow, we got up as high as $121.64. Right now, silver is at $64.82. And it looks pretty similar to gold. It looks to me kind of like we were too far away from the 21 moving average. That's currently at $50. And we started going down towards that 21 moving average. Now, could something similarly be happening, or maybe this is some type of a falling wedge taking us down to the 21? Kind of like how gold is. And then maybe from there, we do make a bigger move up. Measure move to this could take us back above $100, back to about $109, $110. So that is possible that maybe that could happen, but ultimately we have to stay above the 21 moving average. Let's see if by the time this Stochastic RSI resets, by the time this RSI goes and tests this 50, we could round back up and then bounce off that 21 moving average, and then this could be the next move here. We head over to the weekly chart. Stochastics, look, have been dragging here for a while. We are below the 21 moving average and we're holding above the 50. So this is looking still a little bit better than gold. But if, again, we lose that 50 moving average, it could be the bear market for silver and we could possibly go lower. Now, another thing I'm not liking is that this is looking to me like a Adam and Eve double top. You see the V here, we see the rounded top. This could take us down to this 200 moving average. And that 200 moving average is at $35. So similarly to gold, where we saw that head and shoulder pattern, here we're seeing Adam and Eve double top. If gold goes down, silver is possibly going to go down with it as well. We have these moving averages as protection. The 80 moving average is at 52, we lose that. 100 moving average is at 47, we lose that. And then I do see $35 here for gold coming up. On the daily time frame, similar to gold, this could be a possible double bottom if we could reset the Stochastic RSI and not go below this low of $61, $60 on there. Being below the 200 moving average on the daily, that's bearish to me. This looks like the 21 moving average is eventually going to cross down on the 200 moving average. That's bearish. So we need to get back above these two moving averages as soon as possible. Let's take a look here at the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame stochastics are pointing up. Again, below the 200 moving average. That's at $74. We cannot get above this. Bearish. And I have a rounded top here. This is also bearish to me. We cannot get back above this 21 moving average, $68. I'm expecting more downside. So expect us to get down to $47, even possibly to $35 eventually. We cannot get back above $75 here on the 4-hour time frame. All right, guys, let me take a look at chat. Let me see if you guys have anything that you guys want me to go over. And okay, one of you guys want me to go over SpaceX here. So let's go over SpaceX. I did do an episode on this previously, but let's take a look at it now. Now, SpaceX came out June 12th, not too long ago, and it opened up at around 150. We went up as high as 176 that day. Ultimately, we went up as high as, let's see here, $225. Right now, SpaceX is at 185. Now, what I'm seeing here for SpaceX, even though we don't have that many candles, we don't have no Stochastic RSI to go with, is that this could be a possible falling wedge here. As you can see, in the last episode of SpaceX, I did do the falling wedge right on this red candle, and since then we bounced up. We could get a red candle next and we could continue going down, but right now we could bounce up and break out from here. It looks to me like we could make it above the all-time high and get to about 230. So this is a possibility. It'll be interesting to see this week what happens with this 4-hour time frame. On the 1-hour chart, stochastics here, we can see the RSI. We can see we're trying to get above the 50. This could roll over. We have to be careful. I'm liking that the stochastics are pointing up. We got tweezer bottoms here, and then since then we got the three-way soldiers. We got a nice green flag, but look, we got rejected right at the top of this falling wedge. 21 moving average is currently at $194.92. We need to get back above this 21 moving average ultimately in order to remain bullish. Now, something that I'm anticipating is not happening yet, but it could happen. This could be a possible inverted head and shoulder, left shoulder. Maybe this is a head, and then we can make a right shoulder here. And if that's the case, this measured move probably gives us the same measured move that we would have for the falling wedge originally. Let's take a look. Yeah, pretty much takes us at least back up to like about 225 or so. So look out for that. If we get to the 21 moving average and maybe lose it briefly, but stay above these levels, we could make a right shoulder there. That wouldn't surprise me at all. We are pretty hyped right now with SpaceX. There's still a lot of shares that are locked up. Within these 6 months, people are going to start selling them. So I don't expect us to do a severe drop yet because those people are going to want to sell it high. So I expect this to possibly go up higher, and then after 6 months or so, possibly end up rolling over a little bit. I got 2 shares at 135. Hopefully we don't go below that. But hey, if we go below that, you know, that'll be the chance to really make the money, is to get them cheaper. Let's see what ends up happening with that. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, and subscribe. And if you have a stock or crypto that you want me to go over in the next live or during one of my episodes, drop it down below. This is FlexCandle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.